As I'm sure you can imagine, we get asked a lot of questions. And as much as we try, we can't always answer each and every one of your questions.
But today we're going to answer the top 10.
Stay tuned.
Welcome aboard, everybody. So we're here in Punta Gorda, and today we're giving you our top 10 most asked questions. Oh boy. So let's get up in air and we'll knock those out. Alright, top 10 frequently asked questions. Here we go.
Alright.
In no particular order.
Are you ready?
No. Let's do it.
Alright, this one's easy. This is a good first one. What is your aviation background?
So I'm an ATP multi-engine instrument-rated pilot. I have several type ratings in the citation line, the Citation 500, the Citation 650. I have my single pilot type rating in the 510, which is the Citation Mustang. And most recently, I got the my type rating in the Lear 60. So that's basically my background. I started flying in the 90s, and like most people, couldn't necessarily afford it. It was always my dream. And I just slowly, over time, worked my way up from private pilot all the way through my ratings.
The next question kind of relates to the other one. It's similar. What do you do for a living?
What do I do for a living? Well, I do a lot of things. So as I mentioned the type ratings, I do some corporate flying. That's why I've got type ratings. It's usually how you get type ratings. So I do some 135 charter flying. I was also flying for a Part 91 guy. That's what the Mustang type rating was for. I also work in TV production. I work in live sports mainly. I mix the audio. I'm a senior audio guy for live sports, predominantly golf. And of course, I run the ever so famous Baron Pilot Shop, which you all have been to, and if you haven't, be sure to check it out, Baron Pilot Shop, where you can get some good aviation merchandise, both Baron Pilot and flight crew and jet shades and security cameras and all kinds of goodies. So be sure to check that out.
So wait, you're saying you run that?
Uh-huh. Does a CEO run a company?
Just as much as they hire other people to do it.
But a CEO runs a company. I might have minions.
Alright, so the next one is what's wrong with Kim's arm?
She talked back one too many times. No, I don't know if you want to tell the story. Pretty simple story. She used to work in
tell it.
You want to tell it?
Yeah, I'll tell it.
Alright. Good. Saves me from about to talk.
Says somebody that is oblivious to how it actually happened.
I know how it happened.
So basically, I used to be in the veterinary world for almost 15 years, and I was holding a cat, and basically he was pushing my hand away. A nail actually got caught right in between my fingers and tore a nerve. So now I have nerve damage in my hand and my arm. So because you throw your elbow on a table all the time, it actually makes the nerve damage worse in my hand and my arm. So when it flares up really bad, I have to wear it. I should be wearing it all the time. I'm really bad at it, but it's bulky, it's annoying, and it causes people to constantly freak out and think that I'm crippled. So.
Alright, what else you got?
So, does the plane have a heater?
Does the plane have a heater? Yes, the plane has a heater. The plane actually has a geonitol heater, which lives in the nose. Multi-engine airplanes don't use the engine heat for heater. Single-engine airplanes do. So it's basically a gas furnace that runs. Those who've been following for a while, you can see we haven't been running the heater. That's mainly because there was an issue with the heater. That's since been fixed. and we now have a working heater.
Just in time for the summer. Just in time.
Mama didn't raise a fool.
What are the two glass objects on the dash?
So up here, we're actually going to do a future video on it, but these HUD devices, as often referred to, are AOA, angle of attack indicators. They basically let me know that when I start getting to certain angles of attack, which is I'll say critical but pivotal for precise flying, for flying approaches, and it also can keep you from getting in trouble, getting too slow, and stalling an airplane. So basically, for most of the flight, they're not necessary, but they're perfect for approach and landing. And so stay tuned for a future video where we'll actually go in depth in those units.
So I'll let you answer this one, but people want to know how we met.
So my favorite answer is the answer that some viewer made, which is I picked you up in a bar. I brought in a model of my airplane and said I was a pilot. But as funny as that answer is, the truth is we actually met at work while I was working one of my TV productions while I was working golf. You were working it as well, and that's where we initially met. And then I guess after a year,
we didn't talk for a solid year.
After a year, we met back up again, and the rest is history. I brought my model airplane in, and we were good. No.
You didn't bring that model airplane in until a month after. So.
Poor girl, if she had any idea what she was putting herself into, she would have ran at first sight. She had no idea I was a pilot. She had no idea
yeah.
I had a YouTube channel, and she didn't know what she got into. But so, contrary to probably believe, I actually did the opposite. I kept it all from her, is not to scare her away. But so it's a pretty simple story. We, like probably majority of relationships, we met at work.
Yeah, didn't know anything. Oblivious.
No. All right, these questions are pretty good. I thought I was sweating in the beginning.
So one of the common questions is we've been talking about it a little bit. So you're not going to be scared of this one. But it's when is Kim going to get her PPL?
When is Kim going to get her PPL? Kim has actually started working towards her PPL. We started the Sporties online ground school for her, which is what I studied when I got my private pilots and my instrument training. So she's currently started that, and once she gets through with that, then we will be starting her actual flight lessons. And the only person that's more excited than she is probably me. I'm pretty stoked and excited for it. So that is coming, and it's technically already started.
All right, so this is a very serious question.
Oh boy.
Very. What happened to Lucy?
What happened to Lucy? Lucy is a fantastic woman, and like many relationships, ours came to an end. We agreed to go separate ways, and so she's still around. She's in Fort Lauderdale, and more importantly than where's Lucy is welcome Kim.
I'll skip one question because it may take a little bit longer to explain, and I'll go to the last one. But
okay.
This is another hard one to answer.
Oh boy.
Is Kim your daughter?
Well, I'd love to say yes, because that would have meant like in elementary school or maybe beginning of middle school, I had a kid, and which would imply a few other things. You can do the math and what I'm saying there. But so based on that answer, obviously the answer is no, she's not my daughter. Obviously we're in a relationship, a loving, committed relationship, or at least committed, or at least loving, I don't know, one of the others. No, we're in a loving, committed relationship, and so no, she absolutely is not my daughter. Yeah, that's always a funny one.
Yeah, well, and part of that confusion is a lot of these videos don't show affection, I guess. While it's there, I'm not here to slobber all over you on a video, because that, I don't think people want to see it. I really don't. So, if they do,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's not what the intent is for the videos either. So, that's the other video.
That's the other channel.
That's the other channel. And the last one is how much does it cost to own the Baron?
How much does it cost to own the Baron? Well, that's a loaded question, and there's a lot of answers to that. And that's a question that I tend to avoid, actually. And the reason I avoid that question is probably not the reason you'd think, is I don't want to know what it costs. I do what's called pilot math. And pilot math is kind of like husband math, like car math, you know, where you learn to just boat math, right? You justify things, and you don't really add everything up. And because if I did, then, you know, it might discourage me to not to fly as much as I do. But the simple answer is this, is that when it comes to aviation, there are certain costs that are considered fixed costs, and there are certain costs that are variable. The more you fly, the less your fixed costs cost you per hour. The less you fly, the more they cost you per hour, right? So if you got a fixed cost of, say, a hangar, for example, my hangar cost me it was like $300 a month.
We got somebody 1,000 above us. Just
So that's $3,600 a year. If I fly 100 hours a year, that's $36 an hour. That goes just towards that fixed cost. If I fly 200, it's half. You know, it's half that. So fixed costs are hangar, insurance, and annual. So my hangar runs about $300 a month. My insurance isn't bad. I think I'm like $2,200, $2,300.
I think it's like 24 this year.
Yeah, my insurance isn't bad. It's one of the perks of having all the ratings and everything. And then annual, while annual costs can vary, I budget $10,000 a year towards an annual, and so that becomes a fixed cost. You should put money aside for engine reserves. So if you figure out how much an engine costs to overhaul, to keep the math simple, and you say it's $50,000 an engine, it's $100,000. Take 100 grand, divide it by, say, 1,800 hours, and you know, it comes out to be about $55 an hour, I think it is. So you add that to your hourly cost, and then fuel is the big one, which varies from time to time and depends on where you buy your fuel. And so currently today, I think it's $3.59 a gallon.
$3.59, yeah.
In St. Augustine, and we're currently burning 28 gallons. Actually, we're burning 29 gallons an hour. So if you want to round up, call it 30, and then, you know, it gives you an idea of what your costs are, and that's about what it costs to operate the Baron. Well, those are fantastic questions. I'm glad I got through them.
Quick enough.
Yeah, they weren't so bad.
They weren't too painful.
So, and yeah, guys. So these are some of your main questions. If you have more questions, though, go ahead and put them in the comments below. Let us know any other questions you want answered, and we'll try to answer them down below. And if we can't answer them below, maybe we'll put them in a future video of the next, you know, top 10 questions that you guys have, so we can try to address them as well. So
give them some tough ones. Give them some tough ones.
As always, guys, though, if you like these videos, hit that thumbs up, subscribe button. Biggest compliment we can receive is your subscription to the channel. Be sure to ring that bell for notifications. And if you've already ringed the bell and you're not getting notifications because YouTube is wacko lately, uncheck the bell and recheck it and select all. And just as important, spread the word. Let people know you like what's going on here. Help share our videos. Help our channel grow. Ultimately, the more this channel grows, the more we can provide. Kim and I were just talking the other day. I would love to start doing 2 videos a week. Is ultimately my goal, but I need the channel to grow for it to make sense to dedicate that kind of time and energy and money to it. So if you'd like to see more videos, help this channel grow.
As you can imagine, we get asked a lot of questions, and as much as we'd like to, we can't always answer all of them.
So today we're gonna.
Good job.
Well, as you can imagine, we get asked lots of questions, and as you as you can imagine, we get answered. We get answered a lot of questions. We just don't get the questions, we just get the answers. So today, we're going to give you the questions. Well, as you can... As soon as she's done scratching her face, she's got bugs all over her face. As soon as she gets rid of the bugs, we're going to answer your top questions. Where'd your bugs come from?
You.
9 left.